All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to our LinkedIn webinar today on how to build and leverage your LinkedIn profile. We are in partnership with SDAR for today's webinar. They are hosting this event and I'm so honored and happy to be speaking on behalf of them to teach you these important tools to help grow your real estate business. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to welcome you all here. If you are here, thank you so much for joining. You are absolutely doing the right thing, taking this hunker down time to really focus on your own marketing and social media. There has never been a better time to work on this stuff. Right now, when people aren't going out and doing a lot of networking events and workshops or open houses or caravans, this is the great time to really be able to focus on these things that you've wanted to do but have been putting off. So as a quick welcome, I want you guys to use the chat box. I want to make this interactive. So type in the chat box, when was the last time you logged into LinkedIn? And don't be shy if you feel like, oh no, it hasn't been a while. That's totally okay. That's why we're here to learn. But when was the last time you logged into LinkedIn? Last week, someone said yesterday, this morning, yesterday logged in, yesterday, 30 days ago, maybe a month ago. It's been a long time. Yesterday. So it sounds like some of you are using it regularly and some of you have never created an account. So it's been a while ago. So that's okay. We're all at different places. And we'll talk about how to start using LinkedIn consistently to be able to have some visibility for your real estate business. And next question I have, when was the last time you posted an update on LinkedIn? If you have posted an update on LinkedIn. When was the last time you posted an update? Tony says this morning. Kelly says never. 1 week ago, have not yet. 2 weeks ago on Monday. So some of you guys are posting. Some of you guys are not. And when I say posting an update, that's similar to a Facebook newsfeed update, but it's on LinkedIn. So maybe sharing an article or sharing a photo. Someone says it's been a while. John says he hasn't done that lately. Samantha says never. Someone say update what? So sounds like a lot of you are on LinkedIn, but a lot of you are also not updating on LinkedIn. Someone says have never shared anything. It's been too long. So we'll go over the importance of sharing things on LinkedIn and I'll actually walk you through how to do that if you're not familiar with how to do that on LinkedIn. So that's just a quick welcome just to see who's here, to get to know you guys. And I can see that a lot of people have a profile, but they're not actively and consistently using it. I do want to say that I work with a lot of real estate agents and a lot of sales and service professionals. LinkedIn is a really powerful tool, yet very few sales, service, and real estate professionals use it consistently. So if you do decide to add this network into something that you use, then it can be a way to stand out because a lot of other people really just aren't utilizing the power of LinkedIn and the tools that LinkedIn has to offer. So think about that for a second. All right, so before we continue on, if you do want to connect with me on social media, make sure you do that. I'm always posting resources, updates, and information about upcoming webinars and events. So make sure you connect. I am marketing Melody across the board. Let me mute for a second. I think I hear some people in the background. So if we are connected, you will notice that I utilize different platforms for different things. I have a Facebook business page and Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I'm marketing Melody across the board. So feel free to connect with me. You'll notice on my LinkedIn, I post a lot of business tips, similar with Facebook. YouTube, I use it more as a personal channel, so I'll post personal things about my vacations, fun things that I'm doing, but I also put all my webinar replays on there. So make sure you join me there. This replay will be on there as well. And then Instagram, I use that more for fun. So you'll see photos of my daughter or my dog or anything that's not necessarily business related, but it's just for fun. And I want to tell you guys about an exciting thing at the end. If you do stay for the entire webinar, my friend Nina from Virtuance Real Estate Photography is offering a 25-image photo shoot for free, and we'll be doing a raffle at the end. So anyone who's still here at the end, you have a chance to win this raffle. She's also generously offering everyone here a 15% discount. So I will make sure to get her get you her info in the recap that I send out. And if Nina, if you are here, feel free to type in your information in the chat box so people know how to contact you. Otherwise, I'll email you all her information to get that discount, and then we'll choose a raffle winner at the end. So stick around at the end for a raffle prize. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit more polling and find out who's here, what you're here for, and maybe where you're at with your LinkedIn. So you are in the right place for this webinar if any of the following or all of the following can apply to you. So type the number in the chat box that may apply to you. Number one, you have an outdated LinkedIn profile. How many of you have a profile but you feel like, you know, you haven't updated it, it has old information, and you really don't feel like it's up to date with what you're currently doing? So type the number 1 if you feel like you have an outdated LinkedIn profile. And again, that's okay if you do, because a lot of us do. I just updated mine recently as well, but type the number 1 in the chat box if you feel like your profile's outdated. All right, so I'm seeing ones from a lot of people here. So a lot of you do have a profile, but you feel like it's outdated. Type in number 2 if you are on LinkedIn, but you're not posting any updates. So maybe you haven't posted one in a while. Maybe you just have never posted one. Maybe you just do it very inconsistently, but you're not really updating. So I see a lot of number 2s coming up on the screen. Eve, Samantha, Daryl, Jill, 222. Way outdated, not updating consistently. All right, so let's see who this might apply to. You're on LinkedIn, but you're not interacting with people. This means you're not sending messages, you're not commenting, you're not liking other people's posts, you're not sharing their content. So how many of you are on there, but you're really not doing much at all? You just have a profile and you're not interacting and engaging with people. Tanya says, I comment and connect. I love that. So I love that some people are already doing that. Suzanne says number 3. Jason says number 2 and 3. So a lot of you guys are on LinkedIn, but you're not interacting with people. All right, so I see that a lot of you are here and you're in the right place. So what my goal is today is to have you learn something that you can execute right now to grow your real estate business on LinkedIn. If you don't work in real estate, these tips will still apply to you. So make sure that you pay attention to things I'll be teaching today. So right now, I love this word because it stands for no opportunity wasted. So immediately when you leave the webinar, I want you to be able to apply at least one tip that we learned. And if you are not on LinkedIn, then the action you're to take is you're going to sign up for LinkedIn. Someone says, can we steal the now? Yes, you can absolutely use this. I didn't make this up. I saw it in a workshop a long time ago and I loved it. So I always include this in my webinars. Another thing that I do love that I want to share is a quote about consistency. Now this quote says, success comes from what you do occasionally. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. So if you are going to be using LinkedIn, I highly recommend that you have some strategy to consistently use the tool. If you show up once a month and post something, then log off and never come on, it's not really going to be that effective. But if you maybe do once a week, then it will be a lot more effective than going on, updating for 2 days, never logging on for 2 months, and then logging back off. In the chat box, if you guys are paying attention to that, Nina just generously posted her discount and her information. So save that if you want to reach out to her after. I will also make sure it's included in the recap email. So let's talk about some LinkedIn stats to motivate you and inspire you to really get on LinkedIn and to utilize this tool. Now keep in mind, you don't have to use every social media tool. I always recommend choosing 1 or 2 to start with and really doing a great job on those and then adding on. But if you don't know where to start, LinkedIn is definitely a great tool, especially for people who work in sales, and in real estate, we all work in sales. So here are some stats on LinkedIn that are going to be very motivating for you to start using LinkedIn. 37% of US adults, or more than 1 out of every 3 aged between 30 and 49 years old, use LinkedIn. So there are a lot of people between the ages of 30 and 49 who are on LinkedIn. Why is this great for real estate? Because this is a demographic of people who are buying homes. A lot of people in this age range are either buying their first homes or second homes, or they're looking to get vacation homes. These people are on LinkedIn. And that's one of the reasons why it is important to have a presence on LinkedIn if you don't already, because the demographic is there for you guys. Let's see what else. Half of US adults with college degrees use LinkedIn. Again, if you think about people who are buying homes, they usually are more affluent and they're highly educated. These people are on LinkedIn. So why not make sure that you're in front of them by making sure that you also have a presence on LinkedIn? And this next one, I want you guys to pay attention to this next one. This next one says 52% of buyers list LinkedIn as the most influential channel during their research process. People are using LinkedIn more to research buying decisions more than any other social media channel, because LinkedIn is a professional site that's trustworthy. People go there to get business information. So if you are interested in having people research buying a home and you want them to see your information, it will definitely be to your advantage to have a presence on LinkedIn, to be a resource there, to post information that will help people make that decision. So I see a lot of questions coming in. I think Daryl asked a question. What I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to take the whole end of the webinar and I'll answer all your questions. So I will go through all the questions and answer them there, just so we can get through the webinar, and I'll have time at the end. So keep that in mind if I'm not answering your questions right away. So now that we know these important stats about LinkedIn, and we know that a lot of people here are in the right place because you either don't have a profile, you have them, but you're not using it, or it's outdated, let's go ahead and dive right in to the LinkedIn tips I will be sharing today. So first of all, you might be sitting here wondering, if you don't use LinkedIn, what do I do on LinkedIn? How many of you feel like you don't know where to start, and that's maybe why you haven't used it? If anyone feels like this, type the word yes in the chat box. You know, you want to use it, but you just kind of don't know what to do. So a lot of yeses are coming in. All right, so this webinar is going to give you exact steps on how you can start using LinkedIn. Again, choose one of these things that you learn first to implement, and then we can add on after that. So first thing that you want to do, even if you are not using LinkedIn consistently to create updates or interact, is that you always, no matter what, want to make sure that you have an updated and optimized profile. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pull up LinkedIn and walk you through some things. But even if you're not using it, everyone in here should have an updated profile. And here's why. When people are searching your name on Google, LinkedIn, the website LinkedIn has a very high search engine ranking. This means that most likely your LinkedIn profile will pop up at the very top with your website or with your Facebook or with the other social media sites you're using. So, and people click on it. So you want to make sure that even if you're not using it actively, at least your information is updated. I work with a lot of clients, and when we take a look at their LinkedIn, they actually have information that they haven't updated for years. They have an old job listed that they're working at. They don't have their current occupation. So people use LinkedIn almost as your digital resume. So you do want to make sure that you are able to update your profile and have that be the first thing that you do if you don't do anything else from today's webinar. Someone was asking, do you get a copy of this after? Yes, everyone attending will get a link to the free replay of the webinar in case you want to review something or in case you have to jump out early. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my LinkedIn profile. And if anyone's brave and they want me to pull up their profile, please type in your profile link in the chat and I will pull yours up as an example as well. And I can offer you tips and insight just as we're going through the webinar. So otherwise I'm going to use mine as an example, but if anyone wants some improvement or updates, feel free to type it in and we'll help you improve your LinkedIn profile. So typing in the link of your profile. All right, so Deirdre gave me her link. So let me click on Deirdre's link. Thank you so much for participating in that. She was the first one that got her link through. So let me see. I'm going to see if I can share. All right, are you guys able to see the link, Deirdre's LinkedIn profile? Let me know if you can see her profile, okay? Do you guys see that? Yes, okay, good. Okay, so the first things that you want to update and make sure that are set up properly is your top header up here. Okay, so when someone searches your name on LinkedIn, whatever you have as the headline here is going to show up on the search. So this is the first thing you want to make sure that you update is your headline. So I'm going to have to click back over to mine to show you how to update it, but this is the title that will show up in the search. So if you have something that's a weird title or something that you wouldn't want people searching for, you want to make sure that you change that. I'm going to toggle through between Deirdre's and mine. So here's my LinkedIn profile. So my primary role at my company is that I'm a professional speaker and social media consultant. So those are the two things I have listed here. Now I see some people listing phrases or quotes or something else, but you really want the title because when people are searching for you, that title is going to pop up first. So make sure you have that. So Deirdre has a title. Now she also has her license number, and a lot of you probably will want to find out exactly where you need to put your license number. There might be different rules depending on your brokerage, whatever that is, but you do want to make sure you have your license number and you have that displayed properly on your LinkedIn profile. So if you don't have an updated headline, you're going to click on your home page. So to get to your home page, you click on me and then click view profile. And then to edit this section here, you click on this pencil icon where it's next to more. The pencil icon will allow you to edit all the information that people see. So the headline here is where you want to put the title that you want to come up for in the search. The current position is also really important. The current position is going to pull from the experience section. You want to make sure that that is current. So I have two current positions, but the one I want featured is professional speaker and social media consultant at Marketing Melody, which is my current role. I'm also a LinkedIn learning instructor. That's a secondary role that I have. I'm just a contractor for them. So that's not something that I have primary, but it's also listed on there. If you have more than one occupation, again, choose the one that you want to show up on the search and choose the one that's most relevant. Okay, next thing, you're going to scroll down and you want to make sure that your information is correct as far as your area and location in your industry. A lot of you guys here will probably choose real estate industry. So make sure you choose real estate industry. And then the next part, this is also really important to make sure you have an updated profile, is where it says contact info right at the bottom. Profile URL, websites, phone, email, Twitter. Okay, so you're going to click on that pencil icon and you want to make sure this part is updated. This website section is really important. A lot of people don't do this website section properly and they don't set it up so it's really fully optimized. So I'm going to share some tricks with you guys on how to update this section. So the first thing that you want to put is if you do have a website, you're going to put your website. Okay, then you're going to scroll over here and you are going to choose the other option on the right-hand side. By default, it might say company, but let me show you why you want to choose the other option. If you list your company website, it's going to remove the option for you to be able to type in the name of the website or a keyword. Because this is an SEO authority passing link, you always want to be able to type in the word for your website or the name of the website. So if I choose the company site, you'll notice it disappears where I can type in the name of the site. If I choose other, I can type in the name of the site, whether it's my real estate company, my company, or just a keyword. So I'm going to type in social media marketing. I also want to have my Facebook. because I use that for business. So if, again, I put in personal, it's going to disappear and it won't let me type in what the name of that website is. People might not know where they're linking to. But if I choose other, I can then type in Marketing Melody Facebook, and that gives me another link back to my Facebook. I also have a service I offer, my laser marketing session, which is my most popular session. They're one-on-one sessions that I offer. So I want to link that, and I want to make sure people know what that is. So I choose other, and I type in laser marketing sessions. So people know they can click on that and they can learn about the service. So if you have a specific service you want people to know about, make sure you have a specific link and you title that service by typing in on the other section. Keep in mind, you have to go to the toggle down here and choose other in order to be able to type in the title or word. Most people, I would say 90% of people that I work on their profiles with do not have this. So make sure you have that. I don't use a business mailing address, so I've left that blank. And then I do put my birthday. You don't have to put the year. The reason I put my birthday is because on LinkedIn, when it's your birthday, people send you birthday messages, so you kind of stay top of mind. And it's not like Facebook where you get that many where it gets lost. So I always list my birthday on LinkedIn, and I recommend it just to get some extra visibility on your special day. So after I've updated this, I'm going to click apply, and then I'm going to go back to this page and I'm going to click save. So make sure when you log in, the first thing you check is the main header here. You're going to click on this pencil icon, you're going to update the headline, and you're going to make sure all your contact information is correct. And you're also going to want to click over here to update your other links and your contact info, whether it's your phone number or address and your email. So make sure you check that first. Next thing I want to make sure that you guys all do, and everyone should do this, I see a lot of people already have done it, but most people still don't do it, is you want to customize your LinkedIn URL. So how many of you have a custom LinkedIn URL? Or maybe if you don't know, if you do you have a custom LinkedIn URL? Let me know in the chat. Some people are saying no. Some people are asking question mark, they don't know what that is. Here's how to check if you have a custom LinkedIn URL. Okay, now you're back in this home page here. Someone says they don't know. On this top right, it's going to have this button that says Edit Public Profile and URL. How to check is you're going to click on that, and your URL is at the top right. Now, if you notice the URL is a random number and letter combination, that means you do not have a custom one. So if you go on there and check and it is not custom, like mine's Marketing Melody, that means I have a custom one. I have one. But if it's a random number letter combination, that means that I do not have one. If someone doesn't think they have one, type in, let me know that I can click on your profile and I'll show you what it looks like when you don't have one. Was there anyone who doesn't have one that will allow me to type in their name? Someone had a question on how you get there again. So here's how to get there. I'll walk you through and let me know if it's okay for me to type in your name. Rhonda says it's okay. So I'll show you how to get there again. I'll type in Rhonda's name. So I'm going to go back to LinkedIn to my profile, and I'll show you how to get to the URL part. So this is my news feed. I'm going to click on View My Profile. And on the right-hand side, do you see this button that says Edit Public Profile and URL? So it says it right there. That's how you get there. You click on that. And if you have one, you'll know because it's custom. If you don't, you're going to click on this button and you're going to edit it right here. All right, let me type in the example that I got. I'm going to type in Rhonda. Rhonda, you might have one. Let me double check. So Rhonda, you actually have one. The reason I can tell is because your URL is Rhonda Haskell. So that's custom. Steven says he doesn't. So let me type in Stevens and see what that looks like. I'll show you what it looks like when you don't have one, if I can find someone who doesn't have one. But great job, Rhonda. You already have one, so you won't have to update yours unless you want to change it. All right, so Steven. Steven actually also has one as well. So you guys, I think a lot of you guys don't know that you have one. So what you can do is if you're not happy with yours, you can change it there, but you have one because yours is Steven dash, and then it's your last name, Junior. If you don't have one, it'll have a random number and letter combination. So I'll try one more and see if I can find someone who doesn't have one. But you guys are ahead of the game because most of you here have one. Kathleen Harkins. You know what? I don't know that there's a lot of Kathleen Harkins. I'm going to click on a random one and show you if there's someone that doesn't have one. Let's click on this person's. All right, so this lady is an example of someone who does not have one. So here is her URL. Do you see it's Kathleen-Harkins dash, and it's 2AA. It's random numbers and letters. That means it's not custom. So yes, I know, Kathleen, that's not you. I just clicked on one that I saw pop up because I couldn't find your name. But this is just an example of someone who doesn't have one. Nina says she just checked and she doesn't have one. So if you don't have one, make sure you go do that. Okay, another thing that you want to make sure on your headline is that you have a custom photo up here. Otherwise, it'll be blue and it'll be blank looking like this person's. Okay, so custom photo here. If you're working in real estate, I highly recommend having some sort of real estate photo, and you can just choose any photo that will fit in that place. Now, keep in mind, it's a longer photo, it's a horizontal photo, and it's a narrow photo. So you might want to take a look around to find a good photo there, but it should be a reflection of your business and your brand. So if you have a blue space right there, like I saw other people did, then you're going to want to make sure that you update that photo so it's not blank. Someone says, is it better on LinkedIn to use your business name or just your name? So it depends. Now, I have a business page on LinkedIn, but I mostly use my personal profile as my business. So I use Marketing Melody, my business name, as my personal profile. Just because I don't really use my company page too much. So it really depends. If you have a large brokerage and you have a lot of people working for you, and you are using your business LinkedIn a lot, then you might want to have your own name. But if you're not, and you're just a one-person shop, or you're just using you're using your personal brand as your business, then having your business name is fine on your personal profile. So it really just depends. All right, so if you don't have this photo here, how many of you have a photo up here? How many have you do not, and it's blue? Does anyone have one that's blue up here? Let me pull up. All right, so David is a client, and he might be on this webinar. I saw him jump in earlier. So he's an example of someone. We've worked together to have him update his. So he has a photo here, and he has his David Taxer Properties, and he has his logo. So his is custom. If you don't have one and it's blue, make sure you put something there. And someone's saying, how do you upload a photo there? Okay, great. So I'll show you how you upload a photo there. So let's go back to my profile. And the way to upload a photo there is you're going to click on, oh, no, that's not it. You're going to click on this update button here. So that pencil icon that we went to before, and then on the photo area, there will also be a separate pencil icon. You'll want to click on that, and then you can upload your photo. You can drag it and drop it, but again, you only get that little space, so make sure that you find a photo that fits in that space. You can crop it, filter it, and edit it here. I can make it bigger or smaller. I'm gonna not touch anything there for now, but that's where you do it. And then your profile photo, most of you probably have a profile photo. You can change that here, clicking the pencil icon and choosing a profile photo. The profile photo needs to be something that's a clear photo of you. So this is not the place to put a photo of your dog or your baby or of you doing some activity. It's a photo where you want to have a clear photo of you because this is your online resume. So on Facebook, on your personal page, it's okay to have different photos, but on LinkedIn, you want to stick with having a personal business headshot on here. So this is the main section here. And you can also add this section where it talks about services you provide. So you can see mine, I do real estate marketing, marketing consulting, social media marketing, and content strategy. So that's another place. So for example, if you specialize in luxury, or if you specialize in first-time home buyers, and if you specialize in something, you can make sure to add it here. Maybe you have something at your firm or your brokerage or your company that you do that's unique. You can put that on here under the services that you provide, and you can start listing the services here. Someone had a question on how he got the logo. So that is something that you do on your own. You use a site called Canva if you want to do it on your own, or you would hire someone to create an image for you. But the logo on your photo is something you do on your own. It's not through LinkedIn, so it's a separate thing. Bonnie brought up a really great point. Thank you for sharing, Bonnie. Bonnie says, remember, if you change your URL, you have to go back to your website where you have added it and change it from there. Yes, so I've seen a lot of people where they change URLs and they forget to change the link on their website or other places, and it goes to a blank page. So if you do change your URL, make sure you go back and do that. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for bringing that up. That is a very important point. Rocky says, how do you get the services section? Now, the services section is one of the sections you can add to your profile. And on mine, there's a button here that says add profile section. So there's an add profile section here, and you can choose different things to add if you don't have them. So check there. I don't believe it's gonna have the services pop up here because I already have it added, but you can choose to add different things under this add profile section. So the next thing I want to talk about for optimizing your profile is this about section right below it. Now, this section is meant to be a personal introduction of yourself. It is not meant to be a description of your company. I see a lot of people putting descriptions of their company on here. It's really meant to be a place where you put some personal information, almost a bio, but you could customize it and personalize it because it is LinkedIn. Now, even though LinkedIn is a business site, it's still a social network. So you don't have to be too formal here. I talk about my background. I talk about companies I've worked with. I also talk about living in San Diego with my daughter and my husband. And I also mentioned, I run a fun YouTube channel. I also mentioned, that I like to do cooking and do yoga. So I mentioned some personal things here at the end. And that's okay, because this is still a social network. And on social media, people want to feel connected to you. So for those of you who are asking how to get certain things on your profile, now, depending on how your profile is set up, it might be harder to find. So if you guys need any one-on-one help, we could do that after. But for now, I'll go through the main tips, and then we'll help you individually toward the end find things on your profile if we have a chance to do that. Debbie says, how often do we really need to update this? You don't have to update it too often as long as you put all your current information. But if you do change jobs, if you have something significant that you want to add, update it as you see fit. You don't want to have a profile that's 10 years old and you don't have any updates on there. So anytime you have something new, I would go ahead and update it on here. Okay, the next section that I want everyone to do, and most people don't do, is this featured section. Okay, now this featured section is a really great way to add some visuals to your LinkedIn profile when LinkedIn usually is all text-based. Adding these visuals will really help you have your profile stand out. The featured section is another section. You would go here to add a profile section, and you would click on the featured button here if you don't have it. Okay, so I also always like to feature some media because most people don't have media on their profile. So I feature my speaker reel. I feature some news segments that I've done. Maybe you have a really cool virtual tour video you want to showcase. Maybe you have an introduction video that your company you want to showcase. Try to see if you can have a couple videos here, but you can also have photos, or you can also have other files, but videos are great because most people do not have this on their LinkedIn. So if you have any news features, then definitely go here. So we had one more question. I'm gonna do this one more time since I know there's questions about this on how you change the URL. So to change the URL, once again, you're gonna click on the top right corner here, click on Edit Public Profile and URL. Once you get here, you can click this pencil icon. You can type in the new URL, and then click Save. I'm gonna cancel it so I'm not saving it. But again, I'll have to go through this at the end if you still aren't finding this section. So let's go right back to the featured section. How many of you here have a featured media section on your LinkedIn? I'm curious to know how many of you have a featured, so not me. Debbie's question was about the password. Yes, you do have to have your own login and password for LinkedIn. You can't just go on there and edit it without having a password. Suzanne says, I have no media to feature. You can even feature an image of a cool house you sold, or maybe a link to something. So if you don't have anything here, that's okay. Just get creative. And the question was, can I have more than one URL? You can only have one URL. So the featured section is great. Most people don't do it. Let's keep scrolling down. Next is going to be your experience. A lot of people have the experience section, but they don't have any experience written out. I'm going to show Deirdre's again because she gave me permission to do it. So I'm going to show Deirdre's profile. And I think Deirdre has stuff written here, but she does not have a description for it. So let me see if I can pull hers up as an example. And this is just great for her to know. I'm not calling her out. I'm just showing that a lot of people can always make some updates on their profile. So if I click over back to Deirdre's profile, so she has where she's a real estate agent and realtors, but she doesn't have an actual description written out. So I always highly recommend you have a description written for the jobs you've done, because you want people to know what you do in your occupation. Yes, we get it. You work in real estate, you sell homes, but it's also great to have it written out, at least for the main experience, the first one that you have. Because again, you want to think of this as your digital resume. You want people to be able to go on your profile and be able to understand what it is that you do. One more question on how to get that featured section. All right, so if you are on your home page at the top, there's a button that says Add Profile Section, and there's a featured button here, and you're going to choose things to feature. I choose the media button. You can choose links or articles or posts. I chose the media button. That's how I got the media on there. That's where you would go to do that. So now, once you have your experience listed, again, I highly recommend having some description because it's your digital resume. Now, you can also add media to each individual experience, which I also like to do because I feel like it adds visuals that most people don't have on their LinkedIn profile. So I have my speaker reel again, because I want to emphasize that. I have different videos of me speaking here, and here's how to do that. Click on the edit button. You're going to put your title, your company. You're going to type in the description. Again, I'll always have a description. And then to add media, you're going to click upload. And then this is going to allow you to choose a video to upload, or if you have a link to a video. Mine are all links. You put the link to the video. So if I want to put a link to a video I have on YouTube, you put the link on here, and these are all links to videos. Christine says, can you choose more than one under featured? You should be able to choose more than one under featured. Now, I only have videos, but you should be able to put a video and an image if you'd like. Same with here. I'm a LinkedIn learning instructor, and I have a link to my course on LinkedIn Learning. So people can click on it, they see here, and then right here, there's a link directly to watch my course. But it's just a way to get some more visuals on your LinkedIn profile and to get some more visibility related to the things that you want to showcase and things that you do. Now, does anyone have anything under their experience that's a media? Does anyone have media under their experience? I'm curious to know if anyone has media. Lots of no's. But that is a way to make your profile stand out. So if you are looking to update your profile to make it look more unique and to make it have some more visibility, make sure you add these sections. All right, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. You can add things such as your licenses and certifications. So if you work in real estate, then you want to make sure that you are able to add your licenses on here. I'm also a certified yoga instructor. That's something that I've done for fun, to have that on there. And Rocky, if you want to add past experience, all you do is you choose the date that you worked there, and it'll turn into the past experience. So choose the dates that you worked, and then it'll be past. Otherwise, it'll be current if you don't choose the date. So I'll show you about the experience right now. So if I want to add a new experience, and it's in the past, I'm going to uncheck this box. I don't currently work here, and then it'll allow me to choose the dates that I worked there. And then that way it will not be the current one. Okay, so after I update all of my experience, if I want to change the order of how it shows up, all I have to do is click these little three dots, and I can drag and drop it. So if I want one job to show up higher than the other, I can drag and drop the experience boxes. That's done through hovering the mouse. You can see these three dots and you drag it down. And it's a little bit challenging because some people don't know that, because you can't really see the three dots unless you hover over it. So you wouldn't know that unless you know exactly what to do. So certifications, you can add those. Again, a lot of you guys have real estate certifications. Some of you might maybe have other certifications. Volunteer experience is someplace that I volunteered at. And then skills and endorsements. So this is a great place for people to be able to give you a quick boost or quick endorsement of a place where you are excelling at. So I do social media. People are endorsing me for that. Now, if I show more, it's going to have all these other things that people are endorsing me for. Now, some of these things might not be relevant at all, and some of them might be more relevant, but ideally the ones that are relevant, people endorse you for more, so they show up at the top. Now, if there are things that are just really irrelevant, I can go through and I can click on, so I'll show you how I got there one time. I can go through, click on this little pencil icon under skills and endorsements, and I can just remove things that aren't relevant. So for example, let me try to find one that might not be relevant at all. I don't really do copywriting, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. The endorsements are quick ways for people to give you kudos for skills that you're wanting to feature. So for me, social media, someone can click on here and click a button and it'll endorse me for social media. Let me click back on Deirdre's. Okay, so let me see if she has that section. If she does, I can endorse her. So here's Deirdre. If I see her real estate, I want to endorse her. I click real estate because I know she does a great job in real estate. So I'm going to say she's highly skilled at real estate. My relationship with her is that we, let's see, work together. I'm going to say indirectly because Deirdre is a client of mine that I've worked with. So I'm going to submit that. I'm going to endorse her for sellers because she helps sellers. Same thing. I'm going to say that she's highly skilled. I'm going to say we work together indirectly. I'm going to submit it. It takes 1 second, and it's just a way to help people get some kudos and boosts to things that they're featuring and focusing on their profile. All right, next thing I'll take a look at down here. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to go through the next slide, go back to our slide deck before I continue on with the next session. That everything I just talked about, you guys, everything is something that you want to make sure that you do to update and optimize your profile. So make sure you do that because you want to make sure that you have an updated and optimized profile. So if you don't have any of these things, then don't do that. So let me know if you're able to update your profile after this. Does anyone think that after this, they're going to be able to go and update their profile? Everyone says yes, yes, yes. Yes, start making some changes. Okay, awesome. All right, you guys, so let's go back to the next slide. I'm going to try to find the slide again. Here's a slide. Let me close out of here. All right, so here we are back to the slide deck. So we've talked about updating and optimizing your profile. Okay. Deirdre says she needs a laser marketing session. Yes, so that's a custom session that I offer. I'll talk to you guys about that at the end if you want more one-on-one help for this kind of stuff. Next thing is grow your connections on LinkedIn. Now, how many of you actively go on LinkedIn to grow your connections by adding with people, by networking with people? Do any of you do that on LinkedIn? Yes, yes, sometimes, yes. So a lot of you guys are doing that. That's great. So let me show you some easy ways to do that and some effective ways to do that, because you do want to make sure that you are growing your network and you're growing your profile. So we're going to go back to LinkedIn. I just minimized this. I'll pull it up again. And to grow your connections on LinkedIn, you are going to click on My Network, and you are going to click on this connections button to see who all your connections are. Now, as these are people that you're already connected to. Okay, these are people you're already connected to. So it says I have 2,400 connections. Now, if you want to find new people, you can click on the contacts button. Now, these are people that you're connected to, maybe through your phone or your email, and it pulls it on LinkedIn. But you're not necessarily, that's weird, it only has one person here. Oh, email contacts. I'm going to click on Google. Let's see if that shows up something more than one person. So these are people that are my Google contacts, and I can check to see if I'm connected with them by scrolling through. Now, if I click this message button, that means I'm already connected to them. Stephanie says, how do we see my network? To see my network, it's at the very top here. There's a button that says My Network. You'll click on My Network. That's how you access it. And let's see. It looks like most people I'm connected to on LinkedIn. So if there's someone that I'm not connected to, there will be a button that says Connect. If it says Invite, that means that that contact you have for them is not connected to LinkedIn. So don't worry about the invite, just worry about the connect button for people that you're not connected to that you want to connect with. Now, this is what I always recommend, you guys. Most people don't do this. Before sending that connect button, go on their profile, click View Profile, just to take a look at what they're doing, get an idea of what they're doing now, and then instead of just sending them a connect button, click on the More here, connect with them through their profile, and write them a personal message. It can be a quick message that says, hey, I saw you on LinkedIn, I would love to connect. If you don't see this section, you'll have to go here to find it. You click on their profile first, click the More button, click on Connect, and then it'll pop up. Now, if you're just looking through and you click on the My Network button and you want to go through the people that they show you that you might want to connect with, they have recommended people. These are people that I might know on LinkedIn. Okay, so people that I might know. You can click this Connect button right away, but again, I wouldn't do that because then it's not personalized. I always recommend personalizing the connection because it's a great way for people to get to see what you're doing. It's a great way to stay top of mind. And it's just a great way to personalize your connection because people get so many invites. I actually have to go through all my invites. I have, hundreds of invites from people that are strangers that I don't know. And when they don't send a personal message, I kind of just ignore it. And I've let mine build up. So don't do that. You don't want to let it build up like I've done. But if you want people to not have your connection just build up, make sure you send that personal connection. So now these are random people that I might know, and I can easily click the Connect button, but I'm not going to do that. Make sure you always click on their profile first because you do want to get an idea of what they're doing. and then click the more button, and then click, oh, this one doesn't have that there. Oh, here we go. The connect button was here on this person's. It depends on how you're connected to them. Click on the connect button on their profile there, and then send the message here. So someone says, I need to clean up mine too. Yeah, this is a great reminder to clean up those pending connections that people have sent you. So depending on the type of connection they are, if they're a second connection, you might be able to click the connect button here. If they're not, you click the more button and then you click connect there. But either way, as long as you click on their profile, it'll give you the option to send them a personal message before you send the invitation. So make sure you do that for all your connections. Suzanne says, what does invite mean? When it has the word invite, it means that person's contact information that you see they're not on LinkedIn. So you're inviting them to join LinkedIn. I wouldn't worry about inviting them to join LinkedIn right now. I would just worry about connecting with people that are already on LinkedIn. Kelly says, how do you clean them up? Okay, so for me, I'll show you guys. I have, so Peggy invited me, so that's great. I'm gonna accept it because there's a personal message from her. So I can read her personal message. I'm gonna accept. Now to clean it up, I just have to go through these random ones that I don't know. And I just have to accept them or ignore them. But a lot of these people I honestly do not know, and they didn't write a personal message. Some people have a personal message, so I'm gonna probably accept this guy. Like these ones, this is people I do not know. I just accept it or ignore it, and that's what I mean by cleaning it up. As you can see, I have a lot to do. I have 300. Most of the times when a connection comes through that I know with a message, I accept it right away. But I get so many, because I use LinkedIn a lot, so I get so many random people adding me that it kind of adds up. All right, so you want to grow your connections and set an intention to grow your connections. So maybe you say every week I'm going to have 5 new people. I'm going to connect with 5 new people on LinkedIn. Rhonda says, why would you not accept from someone random? I feel like sometimes people are trying to sell me things or they're spammers, so I don't accept everyone. I do accept people with a lot of mutual connections if they've, even if I don't know them, if they sent me a personal message and I see that there's something where we might want to network or connect, then I will accept them. So I'm more likely to accept people if they are sending me personal requests. As realtors, who should we aim to connect with? You want to connect with people that are in your network that you know, your friends and your family, so they know what you're doing. You should also connect with business partners, maybe your lenders, your escrow people who you work with. And you also want to make sure that maybe you connect with other realtors that you want to network with. Maybe you have a buyer that's looking for something and you want to check out some other realtors who have things for sale. So anyone you want to network with is who you should connect with. All right, so let me move on so we can wrap up the webinar, and I want to leave some room for Q&A. So I'm going to go back to the slides, but that's how you connect with people. Another thing you guys want, let me see. Back to the slides. All right, next thing you want to do is to give back. On LinkedIn, here's what I mean by giving back. You want to make sure that you are going through your newsfeed and you are commenting and liking people's posts, because you want to make sure that you are interacting with people. So here's why that's important. When you comment and interact, it'll show up here to your connections that you've commented on a post. So even if you're not posting anything, it'll show up that you've commented and you're interacting. Now be mindful of this, because you want to make sure that you're not interacting with posts that are inappropriate, that you don't want to show up on your feed. For example, if I keep scrolling through, I'll probably see a post that someone interacted with from someone I'm not even connected to. So this person posted a certificate that he got certified on LinkedIn Learning, and one of my connections commented on it, but I'm not connected to him, but I still see it on my feed. So if you create your own updates and other people comment on it, it'll still show up on other people's feeds, even if you're not directly connected to them. So this is a great way to get visibility, just by commenting, liking, and it shows up on people's news feeds when you do that. So I would even take time, maybe once a week, you just go through and you comment on 5 different posts. Maybe you do it every single day. this person, Mark Lawrence, likes this. So I'm connected with Mark, but I'm not connected with Christine Sue, but I still see her update. So this means, again, if people are commenting on your posts, your visibility will expand because other people will see you on their feed, even if you're not directly connected. So this is something that you guys can do. How to do this, this is just on your home page. Excuse me. And on your home page, you will see a way to scroll through your feed, similar to Facebook, but it's on LinkedIn. So most of the updates are gonna be more professional. I like to do some personal updates sometimes just to add in some fun stuff, but I do also a lot of business information. Right now, the thing that I'm gonna mention is to create your own content. Okay, so you wanna give back by interacting, but you also wanna make sure you have your own content and you have your own things where people can comment on. There are several ways to do that on LinkedIn. First way is just to write your own posts. This is just similar to posts you do on Facebook. You write your own post. You can add a photo, you can add a video, you can add a file. You type in your post and then you post it. That's one way to create your own post. Question was, is this being recorded? Yes, this is being recorded for anyone who has to leave early. So I know some of you have to jump off, so I will make sure you guys get the replay. As long as you registered for the webinar, you will get an email follow-up and you will get the replay of this webinar. So creating your own post here. Now you can also do other things on LinkedIn. You can write an article on LinkedIn. Writing an article is similar to a blog post and it stays on your page. Someone's asking me to talk about Sales Navigator. Unfortunately, this webinar is not about Sales Navigator, so I won't be covering that today, but we can reach out one-on-one and I'll be able to cover that with you one-on-one. This is just about using your LinkedIn profile. So for your LinkedIn article, this is a blog post that you can write on LinkedIn. You can add a photo, you can add a headline, you can write images, you can add videos. These stay on your profile and these are great resources for people. If you have seen people's articles on LinkedIn, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I have a couple. I don't do a whole lot of articles on LinkedIn, but I'll show you what it looks like when I do have articles on LinkedIn. And on here, if I click on my home page, you'll see my activity. This is my activity because I'm commenting and liking things. And then you should also be able to click on my activity and see my articles. So if I click on my activity, I click on my articles button. I think it's taking a while to load, but my articles will be right there. So these are articles I've written on LinkedIn. I haven't done it for a while because it's not something I do regularly, but you can use this section and it will stand out. Now these are posts that I've done on LinkedIn. These are all my posts. So as you can see, you know, I post some personal things. You know, I celebrated Earth Day. I talked about, you know, I've been baking during the quarantine. It was my dog's birthday, so I have a picture of him right there. So I post some personal things. Someone's asking, what's the difference between a post and an article? A post is something on your news feed that just shows up on the feed. An article is something that stays on, that's like a blog post, but on your LinkedIn. So these are all of my regular posts. I shared a colleague's post here. I'm sharing another colleague's post here. Here I'm talking about the webinar. I talk about my LinkedIn Learning. I posted something that was more personal. This was a gender reveal we did for our baby on the way. So I do post things that are a combination of personal and business, but mostly you would see it's business things. But I will tell you, people like to see the personal things, and I feel like I get more likes on those things. So let's go back to the slides. I'm gonna do a quick wrap up. We'll do the raffle, and then I'll talk to you guys about working together more because we are heading at the top of the hour right now. So I wanna respect your guys' time. All right, you guys, so we're gonna do a quick wrap up here today. And quick recap, okay? So first thing you wanna do is make sure you have an updated and optimized profile. So you wanna update and optimize your profile on LinkedIn. Second thing is you wanna work on growing your connections. Going on there, maybe once a week you have a goal of 5 new connections. Maybe it's 10 new connections. Maybe it's just once a day. Next thing is to give back by commenting, liking, and interacting with other people's posts. Now, I didn't talk about recommendations. Giving recommendations is also a great way to give back. I actually, reminding me, I want to pull that up really quickly and I want to show that to you guys. And then also to create your own content, you can write your own articles or you can do posts. Let me show you quickly giving back through recommendations. This is really important. Most people do not do this, but it's a really great way to give back. And I think a lot of people will appreciate it if you use this feature. So recommendations is similar to reviews. So it's reviews, but on LinkedIn. It really helps someone boost their credibility. It really helps someone get more visibility to their profile. And it also helps you because it shows that you're giving back, shows that you're giving recommendations. If you go on someone's profile, if you don't have the recommendations tab, you will have to add it here in the profile section. I have mine, I think, closer to the bottom. Recommendations are endorsements and they are reviews online. So these are people that I've worked with that have given me recommendations. I have almost 60 recommendations from people that have worked with me. And I've also given almost over 45 recommendations. It shows the ones that you give and it shows the ones that you receive. You're asking, how do you do this? If I want to give someone a recommendation, let me click over to Mahaleen. She's a client of mine. She's a financial advisor. You click on their profile, you click on the more button and you write recommend. And then you can write a recommendation from there. You're going to select the relationship. So I'm going to say Mahaleen was my client while she worked at this company, which is her wealth management company. So then I click next, and then I go ahead and write her recommendation right here. So just go on someone's profile, remember, click on this more button and click on recommend. That's another way to give back. You ask for recommendations from clients. I do. Yeah, so anyone in this webinar, if you like this webinar, I would love a recommendation. You can go on and write me one. So I do ask for them because I want to grow my profile that way, but sometimes I just get them. But you can also give them without people asking for them. So something fun to be able to do to help people out. So let's go back, and the raffle's coming up. Someone was asking about that. To be a part of the raffle, you just have to be here in the webinar still. So anyone who's in the webinar, I'm going to scroll through and close my eyes and choose a random person who's still here. All right, so let's go back to the slides. We're going to do a wrap up and we will do the raffle. I will stick around if anyone wants to stay late to answer any additional questions, but we will wrap up the webinar soon. And then again, anyone who wants to stay late, they can stay for the Q&A. So I have a bonus I want to give you guys. I'm a LinkedIn Learning instructor. If you haven't checked out LinkedIn Learning, I highly recommend it. It is a platform where you can learn all sorts of tools on marketing, social media, on business tips, on efficiency, productivity. You can learn about everything on LinkedIn Learning. I created a course through LinkedIn Learning, and it's a paid course. I believe it's $25. However, if you are on this webinar, I would love to offer it to you for free as a bonus. And here's how to get the course for free. We have to be connected on LinkedIn. So make sure you send me a request. After we're connected, you also have to make sure that you send me a message asking me to send you the course. I'll send you a private special link you can access. When you open the link, you have 24 hours to access the course for free. It's about a 30-minute course, so make sure you have the time to take it. After 24 hours, it will ask you if you want to buy the course for the $25. So you get it free for 24 hours, and then you have the option to purchase the course if you do want it for longer or if you didn't finish it in time. Send me a request and send me a message on LinkedIn saying you want the course if you want to get it for free. All right, you guys, so type in your questions in the chat box as I do my wrap up. So any extra questions, type them in. I will go through and I will be able to answer your questions at the end. Now I want to share with you something that I offer before we do the raffle. If you want custom help and if you want more one-on-one insight on how to set up your LinkedIn profile or anything else related to your marketing social media, one of my most popular business services is my laser marketing sessions. These are custom sessions I offer where we go through and work on any element of your marketing, including LinkedIn. We can fully optimize your profiles together. We can create content together so you have things to share. We can also create a strategy for you that's long-term to generate more leads and sales. These are just some of the things we can do for my custom sessions. So if you feel like you want more help and more insight and you want one-on-one help, you can check out my website, marketingmelody.com/laser for all the information on signing up for a custom session. However, as another bonus and as a thank you to you guys for being here, I will email you all after with a special that you can use to get started. It's different from the pricing on my website. It's only for people who are in the webinar right now. It is an intro special that I'll offer as a thank you for being on the webinar. And I'll email that to you if you do want to sign up for a very special rate. So that's all I have for you guys. This is my information. Again, if we're not connected, make sure to like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, connect on LinkedIn, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know that's a lot, but I do post different things on different channels. It does help me a lot when you guys subscribe and like my pages. That will help me be able to create more free content like this. It'll help me be able to partner with more associations like SDAR. So make sure you connect with me on social media if you haven't already. And now what we've all been waiting for, I'm not sure if Nina is still here. We're gonna be doing the raffle for Virtuance. You get a 25 image photo shoot for free from them. So who wants to win? Type the word win in the chat if you wanna win the prize. Okay, so I'm gonna go through my screen here. I'm not gonna look, and I'm gonna just scroll through and I'm gonna choose someone. And then Nina will contact you, and then you'll be able to connect with her on getting this.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you, I'm here.
Oh, there she goes. There's Nina. Thank you for jumping in. All right, you guys. So let me go ahead and I am going to choose someone here. And the winner is, hold on, make sure I'm not looking. Daryl Cook. Is Daryl Cook here? I saw him here. If Daryl Cook is still here, type in winner in the chat box. D-A-R-R-I-L-L Cook. Daryl Cook, you are the winner. Awesome. So Daryl is here. If you can type in your email in the chat, Nina will get that from you and she'll connect with you separately on how to get your prize. So congratulations. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. That wraps up our webinar, but I will stick around if you have one-on-one questions for the next 10 minutes. So, all right, who has questions for me? Okay, so Nina wanted me to check her, or someone wanted me to check her profile. So if you guys want individual help with your profile, I'll have to do that one-on-one, but if you guys have general questions that anyone can benefit from, then I will be able to answer those questions. I'm gonna scroll through because I saw a lot of questions come in before as well. So any general questions that I can answer, I will help you. If it's individual on how to update your profile, that'll have to be one-on-one. All right, so let me see. Actually, feel free now as I'm scrolling through to unmute yourself if you want to ask any questions as well. Nancy says, how can I contact Nina? Nina, if you will type in your info again on the chat box, because she is offering a 15% discount to everyone here. I will also send you guys a recap with her information. Jennifer's question was recommendations for building her website. Now, I'm not a web developer at all, so I can't help you with building your website. I can give you recommendations for people that can help you with that. A lot of times your brokerage might have website plans for you. So if you do want help and you want a recommendation, let me know, but I personally cannot build websites. Oh, this is a great question. Emma says, do you recommend having a paid LinkedIn versus a free version? Here's the benefit of a paid LinkedIn. If you have a paid LinkedIn, all those LinkedIn learning courses are completely free. So you don't have to pay the $25 for mine. You get it for free. You also get more access to connecting with people and seeing who went on your profile. However, if you're not using LinkedIn regularly, you probably don't need it. If you are using it more, then I recommend checking out the paid version. I do have the paid version because I do use LinkedIn a lot for my business. Steven says, how many years should we go back under experience? It's a great question, Steven. For your experience, I would go back as far as many jobs that are relevant to what you're doing now. You might think, okay, but I worked as a restaurant manager. How is that relevant to real estate? That's still relevant because you have experience managing people, leading a team, working in high stress situations. So anytime you can put experience that relates to how you're currently able to do your job, I would recommend going back and adding it. Now, you don't have to add any jobs from high school or college, but if you do have jobs or real jobs that have some skills you want to feature, I highly recommend adding those. Again, it's similar to your resume. However far back you would go back on your resume, that's how much you might want to go back on your LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems kind of like Facebook business page. What's the difference? So LinkedIn is actually very different from Facebook business page, because a Facebook business page, someone has to like your profile, and you don't know everyone who's liked your profile. You can't interact back with them through the business page necessarily. There are ways to do that, but not directly. However, the LinkedIn profile is where you can interact and talk to people, network and connect directly as yourself. You can't do that on a LinkedIn business page. Someone says, can you tell me how to insert changes to your profile? I'm not really understanding that question. We did go through at the very beginning on how to update your profile and update your profile picture. So I'll get you the recording. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch the recording to be able to go back and do that. And let's see, someone asked a question directly earlier. I will try to scroll back. Mark, if you want to send me the question again, I'll scroll back as well to try to find it. We had a busy chat today, so that's why I didn't. If I missed any questions, I apologize. Feel free to type them again. And you guys can also email me one-on-one if I didn't get to your questions. So again, I'm scrolling back, and I might have missed some questions. So feel free to type them again here. Do we get a copy of the chat? So you won't get a copy of the chat. However, on your own settings, if you have an option to download it, you can do that. I won't be sending out the copy of the chat though, but you might have the option to download the chat yourself.
Melanie, I don't mean to interrupt. Did you know I found this out in Zoom meetings? See in chat at the very bottom of the chat box where there's a square with 3 little buttons. You see that right there? If you hit that button right there, you can save the chat.
Oh yeah, so I see it right now. There's a button that calls more, it's more. And if you see that button right there, click it and you can save the chat. So anyone who sent messages and you want to see the chat, you can save the chat right there. Thank you so much, Nina, for bringing that up. I think that was Nina. See you there. All right, you guys. So I'm going to take one more question if anyone has any more. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to stop the share. And we still have a lot of people here. So let me see if I'm going to do a quick screenshot. All right, guys. A lot of you guys don't have your video on. If you can turn your video on, I want to do a quick screenshot of this so I can say hello to everyone. I'll post it on my social media. So jump in. I know a lot of you guys are being shy right now. You're not showing your faces on here. Quick video here. Awesome. All right. I love seeing more of you guys pop up. All right, guys, we are wrapping up our webinar with SDAR and LinkedIn training. Did you guys have a great time today at the webinar?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. A lot of you guys are muted, but I'm seeing a lot of people jump in. Looks like you guys had a great time.
Thank you. It was awesome.
All right, guys, if there are no more questions, let me make sure I didn't miss any. Look for your inbox. You will get a recap of today's session. You will get a special link that you can access the replay. And you will also get a special if you want to sign up for one-on-one consulting with me with a special price. And then stay tuned. SDAR might send you some surveys. If you like this webinar and you want to see me do more webinars, please contact SDAR. Let them know so they bring me back. This is the 4th webinar we've done with them. And we did get this 4th webinar because I had such great feedback from you guys. So make sure you tell them positive feedback if you like this. Thank you guys again so much for being here. Marketing Melody here, marketing your way to success. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.